6 years had passed since Amara Okoye fled Seoul. Her heart broken and her arms wrapped around her son Aiden. Now, in 2025, she stood at the edge of the city's glittering skyline, her deep brown skin glowing under the sun, her long curly hair tied back with purpose. At 28, Amara was no longer the scared young woman who'd lost everything. She was a world-famous designer, her name whispered in fashion circles from Paris to New York. Her dresses were bold like her spirit, and she'd built a life for herself and Aiden abroad. But Seoul called her back. A job offer from a top fashion company was too big to refuse. She didn't know the company belonged to Jun Ho Kong, the man from that unforgettable night 6 years ago. Amara's heart was heavy as she stepped off the plane, Aiden's small hand in hers. He was 6 now, a bright boy with her curly hair and big, curious eyes that seemed to see the world's secrets. "Mama, is this home?" he asked, his voice full of wonder. Amara smiled, but inside, her stomach twisted. Seoul held memories of pain. Her cruel stepsister Minji Park, her scheming stepmother Hyrin Park, and the fire that stole her second child, whom she believed was a boy. She thought of the old house, its ashes burying her dreams. "We're here to start fresh, Aiden," she said, her voice steady but her heart racing with a vow, to face her past and make her enemies pay. The fashion company's office was a sleek tower of glass and steel, buzzing with energy. Amara walked in, her head high, wearing one of her own designs, a bold red dress that hugged her curves. People stared, whispering about the famous designer from abroad. Amara felt strong but nervous. She was led to a meeting room, and there he was, Jun Ho Kong, the billionaire owner. At 31, he was even more striking, his sharp jaw and dark eyes commanding the room. His tattoo was hidden under a tailored suit, but something about him made Amara's breath catch. Jun Ho froze too, his gaze locked on her. Neither remembered their night in 2019, but a spark flickered between them, like a flame trying to reignite. "Welcome, Ms. Okoye," he said, his voice low and warm. Amara nodded, her heart pounding, unsure why she felt like she knew him. Their meeting was about work, designs, deadlines, a big fashion show, but their eyes kept meeting, lingering a little too long. Amara felt a pull, like a thread tying her to Jun Ho. He felt it too, his mind racing with a memory he couldn't place. "Your work is unique," he said, his words careful but his tone soft. Amara smiled, her confidence hiding the storm inside her. She didn't know this was the man from the gala, the father of her twins. Jun Ho didn't know she was the woman who haunted his dreams. But their connection was alive, a silent promise of something more. That evening, the company held a welcome event for Amara. The room was filled with lights, music, and fancy people. Aiden tagged along, his little suit making him look like a tiny prince. He ran around, laughing, until he bumped into Jun Ho. "Sorry, mister," Aiden said, looking up. Then, without warning, his eyes widened and he shouted, "Daddy!" The word echoed, stunning everyone. Amara gasped, rushing to Aiden. Jun Ho knelt, his heart racing. "What did you say, buddy?" he asked, his voice shaky. Aiden grinned, unafraid. "You feel like my daddy," he said simply. Jun Ho's chest tightened. He didn't understand why, but Aiden's words felt true, like a missing piece clicking into place. Amara pulled Aiden close, her face hot with embarrassment. "He's just a kid," she said, but her voice trembled. Jun Ho stood, his eyes searching hers. "He's special," he said softly, feeling a bond he couldn't explain. The moment was cut short when a sharp voice broke through. "Amara!" It was Minji Park, standing with her mother, Hyrin, at the edge of the room. Their faces were pale, like they'd seen a ghost. Minji's eyes narrowed, her red lips tight. Hyrin's hands shook, her fake smile crumbling. They thought Amara was dead, lost in the fire they'd caused 6 years ago. Seeing her alive, successful, and beautiful was a shock that hit them like a slap. Minji stormed over, her heels clicking like a warning. "You shouldn't be here," she hissed, her voice low so others wouldn't hear. Leave Seoul, Amara. Now. Her eyes were cold, filled with the same cruelty that had torn Amara's life apart. Hyrin stood behind her, nodding, her face twisted with fear and anger. Amara's blood boiled. She remembered the fire, the lie about her baby, the pain of thinking she'd lost her child. "I'm not going anywhere," Amara said, her voice strong, her eyes burning with defiance. "You can't scare me anymore." Aiden clung to her leg, sensing the tension. Minji's face twisted with rage, but she forced a smile. "You'll regret this," she whispered, turning away. That night, Amara lay awake in her new apartment, Aiden sleeping beside her. Her heart was a storm of emotions. Anger, fear, and something new, a flicker of hope from meeting Jun Ho. She didn't know why Aiden called him Daddy, but it stirred something deep inside her. She thought of Minji and Hyrin, living in luxury with Jun Ho, probably in his mansion. The thought made her fists clench. They had taken her baby, burned her world, and thought they'd won. But Amara was different now. She wasn't the weak girl they'd tricked. She was a mother, a fighter, a woman with a fire in her soul. "I'll make you pay," she whispered into the dark, her voice a vow. She wanted revenge. Not just for herself, but for the child she thought was gone. Jun Ho in his mansion couldn't sleep either. He paced his study, the city lights sparkling outside. Aiden's voice echoed in his mind. "Daddy!" It was impossible, but it felt so real. He thought of Amara, her strength, her beauty, the way her smile made his heart skip. She was different from Minji, who lived with him, and Sua, the girl he believed was his daughter. Minji was cold, her laughter fake, her touch empty. Sua, now 6, was quiet, her big eyes sad and silent. She hadn't spoken a word since birth, and Jun Ho worried for her. He loved her, but something always felt off. Why did Aiden's face look so familiar? Why did Amara's presence make him feel alive? Minji and Hyrin, in their lavish rooms, were panicking. "She's alive," Hyrin whispered, her voice trembling. "How?" "The fire." Minji's eyes were hard. "She's a threat," she said. "If Jun Ho finds out about Sua, we lose everything." They had built their lives on lies, pretending Minji was Sua's mother, living off Jun Ho's wealth. Amara's return was a crack in their perfect plan. Minji's mind raced with new schemes. She wouldn't let Amara ruin her. "I'll make her leave," she said, her voice like ice. Hyrin nodded, her cunning smile returning. They didn't know Amara's strength or the bond growing between her, Jun Ho, and Aiden, a bond that would soon shake their world. Amara woke the next day with a plan. She would work hard, shine at the company, and dig into her past. She didn't know Jun Ho was the father of her twins, or that Sua was alive, but she felt a pull, like fate was guiding her. Aiden's laughter filled the room as he played, unaware of the danger. Amara kissed his head, her heart swelling with love. "We're going to be okay," she said, her voice fierce. She would face Minji and Hyrin, uncover their secrets, and take back the life they stole. The fire of revenge burned bright, but so did the spark of something new, a connection with Jun Ho that felt like destiny. Amara Okoye stood stronger than ever, her deep brown skin glowing with determination, her long curly hair a crown of resilience. At 28, she was a renowned designer, her name a beacon in the fashion world. Her work at Jun Ho Kang's company filled her days with purpose, but her nights were haunted by memories of a fire that stole her second child, or so she thought. Her son Aiden, now 6, was her light, his bright eyes and curly hair a mirror of her own. Yet, every smile he gave stirred a pang in her heart, a reminder of the baby she believed was lost. Amara's vow for revenge against her stepsister Minji Park and stepmother Hyrin Park burned like a coal in her chest, but a new feeling, a spark with Jun Ho, was growing too. One sunny afternoon, Amara visited for a work meeting, bringing Aiden along. The mansion's gardens were alive with flowers, and Aiden, full of energy, ran through them, laughing. Jun Ho watched, his heart stirring. At 31, he was Korea's richest billionaire, his sharp features and hidden tattoo as striking as ever. But his life felt empty. Despite raising Sua, the 6-year-old girl he believed was his daughter with Min-ji. Sua was quiet, her big eyes sad and silent, never speaking a word. Jun Ho loved her, but her silence worried him, and Min-ji's coldness toward her made his stomach twist. In the garden, Aiden's laughter stopped when he saw Sua sitting alone on a bench, her small hands clutching a stuffed rabbit. Her face was delicate, her eyes like Aiden's, though shadowed with loneliness. Aiden, bold and kind, ran to her. "Hi, maiden. Wanna play?" he asked, his smile bright. Sua looked up startled, but something in Aiden's warmth made her relax. She didn't speak, but she nodded, her eyes softening. They played tag, Aiden giggling as Sua chased him, her silent laughter a rare spark. Amara watched, her heart skipping. Sua's curly hair, her familiar nose. Could it be? The resemblance to Aiden was uncanny, stirring a hope Amara dared not name. That evening, Amara's mind raced. She sat in Jun Ho's office, discussing designs, but her thoughts were on Sua. "Your daughter, she's beautiful," Amara said, her voice trembling. Jun Ho smiled, but his eyes were distant. "She's special, but she doesn't talk," he said softly. "It's been hard." Amara's heart ached, a memory flashing, the fire, Min-ji's lie that she'd only had a boy. Could Sua be her lost child? The thought was a knife, sharp with hope and fear. After the meeting, Amara began digging. She called old contacts, searched online for news about the 2019 fire, and found a report mentioning a miracle survivor, but no details. The inconsistencies gnawed at her, fueling her suspicion that Min-ji had lied about everything. Min-ji, meanwhile, was a storm of rage. She lived in Jun Ho's mansion with Rin, their lives draped in luxury, but Amara's return was a crack in their perfect lie. Min-ji watched Amara and Jun Ho at the company, their glances lingering, their smiles too warm. Her jealousy was a poison, twisting her heart. She saw Aiden and Sua playing, and panic surged. "They're too close," she hissed to Rin in their private suite. Rin's eyes narrowed, her cunning mind spinning. "We can't let her stay," she said. "She'll ruin us." Min-ji tightened her grip on Sua, her voice sharp when the girl lingered near Amara. "Stay away from her," she snapped, yanking Sua's arm. Sua flinched, her silent eyes filling with tears, but Min-ji didn't care. To her, Sua was a tool to keep Jun Ho, not a child to love. Amara noticed Sua's fear, the way she shrank from Min-ji. It broke her heart. One day, at a company event, Amara saw Min-ji scold Sua for dropping a glass, her voice cruel. "You're useless," Min-ji hissed, unaware Amara was watching. Sua's lip trembled, and Amara's blood boiled. She stepped forward, her voice calm but fierce. "Don't touch her," she said, her eyes locking with Min-ji's. The room went quiet, tension thick. Min-ji smirked, but her eyes were cold. "Mind your business, Amara," she said, pulling Sua away. Amara's hands shook, her revenge vow burning brighter. She didn't know Sua was her daughter, but her heart screamed to protect her. Jun Ho and Amara's bond grew stronger each day. They worked late, sharing ideas over coffee, their laughter filling the office. One night, Jun Ho touched her hand, his fingers warm. "You make this place brighter," he said, his voice soft. Amara's cheeks warmed, her heart racing. She felt safe with him but also scared. Why did he feel so familiar? Jun Ho felt it too. His dreams haunted by a woman with curly hair from 6 years ago. He didn't connect her to Amara, but every smile she gave him felt like a memory coming alive. Their connection was a quiet fire, growing stronger, threatening Min-ji's control. Min-ji's threats escalated. One night, she cornered Amara outside the company, her voice low and venomous. "Leave Seoul or you'll be sorry," she said, her eyes glinting with danger. Amara stood tall, her heart pounding but her resolve unbreakable. "You took everything from me once," she said, her voice steady. "Not again." Min-ji's face twisted, and she leaned closer. "You have no idea what I'm capable of," she whispered. Amara walked away, her heart racing, but her mind was clear. She would uncover the truth about the fire, about her lost child, and make Minji pay. At home, Amara tucked Aiden into bed, his small voice breaking her thoughts. "Mama, I like Sua. She's like me," he said, his eyes bright. Amara's heart clenched. "She's special like you," she said, kissing his forehead. Alone, she cried, the weight of her suspicions crashing over her. What if Sua was her daughter? The thought was a beacon of hope, but also a storm of fear. She called Taemin Lee, her college friend who'd saved her 6 years ago. "I need your help," she said, her voice trembling. "I think Minji lied about my baby." Taemin, always loyal, promised to dig into the past, his voice steady. "We'll find the truth, Amara," he said. Jun Ho in his mansion watched Sua sleep, her face peaceful but sad. He felt a pull toward her, but also a nagging doubt. Minji's coldness, Sua's silence, Aiden's daddy call, it all swirled in his mind. He found an old photo from the 2019 gala, a blurry image of a woman with curly hair dancing with him. His heart raced. Was it Amara? He didn't know, but he felt a truth waiting to be uncovered. Minji, watching from the shadows, saw his frown and knew her time was running out. She whispered to Hyrin, "We need a plan. Amara's too close." Their scheming grew darker, their threats turning into a dangerous promise to destroy Amara and Aiden before the truth could surface. Amara's heart was a battlefield. Love for Aiden, hope for Sua, rage at Minji, and a growing warmth for Jun Ho. She worked harder, her designs stunning the company, but her nights were spent searching for answers. She found a nurse's name from the 2019 fire, someone who might know about her twins. Every step brought her closer to the truth, but also to danger. Minji's eyes followed her, sharp and cruel, ready to strike. Amara felt the weight, but her fire burned brighter. She would protect Aiden, save Sua, and face her enemies, no matter the cost. Did you enjoy the story? If you did, please subscribe to my channel, Jade Lantern Stories, to show your support. It really helps me keep making more stories for you. Thank you so much. See you in our next update.